Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to look at how you do the online examinations. That is, how you take an exam online. And first of all, I want to go through the Mount Kenya University online examination instructions for students. My name is Geoffrey Kuria, the Deputy Director in charge of Management Information Systems. Let us look at the purpose. So the purpose is to facilitate understanding and adherence to online examination expectations and requirements. Number 2, pre-online examination instructions. Students are advised to 1. Understand technical support to the online examination related to addressing technical problems or challenges. 2. Understand variations in examination questions such as open or closed book, timed or not timed, tracking of time, scheduled or not scheduled examinations. 3. Be aware that the online examination is proctored or invigilated. 4. Ensure that computer to be used is in good working condition before the examination time. 5. That the link is assessment.mku.ac.ke/portal. That's the one that I've opened here. And ensure your username and password are correct. So the username and password, as I'll show you, the username is your admission number and the password is as you have set it, or the same as it is in the student portal. Number 6, ensure you change your password after the initial login. So every student will receive an initial login. The initial login here being your ID number or your telephone number. Ensure that you change the initial login password immediately you access. Then practice logging in the examination site before the examination. Ensure that you go through the sample site examination that we have provided to ensure that 1, you build confidence on how to go about it, and also you familiarize yourself on how the exam is done. The last one here is you need to be aware of information, resources, materials to use during the examination and those not to use. Then the actual examination instructions, students are advised to 1. Skim through all examination questions. I'll show you how that one is done. 2. Scroll and read all parts of a question. 3. Answer the easiest questions first in order to build confidence. 4. Answer and save the answers for each question. I'll also be demonstrating how you do that. Then pay attention to time. As you'll see during the demonstration, the system will clearly show you when you begin and how you are able to pay attention to time, since it will automatically be calculating it for you and it will automatically close once the time lapses. So let's go to the system. Remember, we've said you go to assessment.mku.ac.ke/portal. So this is the system as you can see it. So I want to log in as a student. So there you go. So this is the place where you are supposed to enter your admission number as the user ID and the password. The initial login we've said will be your ID number or the password or the phone number. So you hit login. So when you click on login, we've said go and change the initial password before you even begin. So to change your initial password, you click at this icon here that shows your face. You click on it, go to preferences. So this is where you're supposed to check this password. So here you go. You are able to see the navigation tools on the left. We have the account here. So you click on account, and then you click on modify details. So when you click on modify details, for example, here I can add my first name. I can add this. It's also good to enter your email address. And then here I'll enter my current password, then create a new password to ensure that nobody can tamper with my account, or nobody will be able to log in unless it's me. So there you go. So once you have entered the details here, you update details. So once you have updated those details, now your account, you have modified your password, and you are the only person who knows that password. That means you are the only one who can access. So let's go back home. So now that we have successfully changed our account password, now it means we are ready to tackle the exam. How do you go about that? It's very easy. The examinations will be following the timetable that will be released to you. And let's say, for example, I have an exam today from 11 to around 2 p.m. So that exam will be available for me at that time. So how will I do that? I'll come and click on sites at the top here. So once you click on sites, it will open a drawer that shows you the exam that you have. So for example, the one that I have, we have the semester, January, April. This is the unit sample exam. So here for you, it will be reading the semester. Remember, we are taking last semester's exam. That is the January-April 2020 semester. That is why it indicates Jan/April. Then the sample exam here will indicate the unit. For example, if you are taking communication skills, it will show 19/20 Jan/April communication skills. Then you now select that exam by clicking on the title here. So click on that title, and it will now open the exam for you. So remember, the unit that you are working on will always be highlighted at the top. So here we are. We already have that exam selected. And now for us to tackle the exam, you go to test and quizzes. So test and quizzes. Once you click on test and quizzes, you should now be able to see the exam listed for you and even the submitted assessments that you've done. So it says assessment, take an assessment. The assessment listed below are currently available for you to take. To begin, click on the assessment title. So the assessment title is here. As you can see, we have the title. This is the assessment title. So to begin, we are going to click on this title. Then time limit, you can see it's very well highlighted, is 3 hours. Then the due date, we are saying here we've given it as June 30th, 2020 at 12 a.m. Remember, this is a sample exam. But now in the real exam, it will indicate if an exam is 3 hours, and it says from the timetable, it says that the exam was to start at 11 a.m. and end at 2 p.m. Then the due date will be clear here, indicating 2 p.m. That means after 2 p.m., let's say by 2:01, that exam will not be available for you to take. So let's still read through here just to see what submitted assessments are. So we are saying you have completed the assessment listed below, and yes, feedback available displays not applicable. Feedback will be available at the time shown. If feedback is available for particular submissions, it will be seen under view all submission scores. So this is what they are talking about here. Then, for example, you can see that I have done this exam several times just to ensure that I familiarize myself with how it will be done. So any submission that you do will be clearly recorded here. So let's go ahead now and take this exam. So remember we said you click on the title, you click on the assessment title for it to open. So I want to click on on the practice exam 1. So immediately you click on it, this is how it goes. So it says begin assessment, practice exam 1 for January-April semester. So the sample exam here will be replaced with the actual unit code. Remember, like I said, communication skills, it could be computer applications, etc. Then it goes ahead and say this assessment is due Tuesday, June 30th, 2020 at 12 a.m. So remember, as I said at the beginning, it will indicate the actual time. If it has been set for 3 hours, it will indicate the 3 hours, meaning that after the 3 hours, you'll not be able to see it here. So this deadline here, we've put it for about 2 weeks to ensure that you keep practicing and you build the confidence, but the actual exam will actually be the 3 hours we have set. Then it says, once you click begin assessment, you will have 3 hours or until Tuesday, June 30th, 2020, 12 a.m., whichever is shorter, to complete this assessment. So that one tells you that within the 3 hours to submit, you can finish and submit earlier. And if you not have finished within the 3 hours, then it means the deadline that we'll have set here is what now will take precedence. That's why we are saying whichever is shorter. So let's say you are allocated 3 hours to take communication skills, but let's say you are not able to finish all questions on time. Whatever you had saved will automatically now be submitted, and then the exam will automatically close. So that's what that statement means. It will be submitted at that time, regardless of whether you have answered all the questions. You can submit this assessment an unlimited number of times if multiple submissions are allowed. Answers from previous attempts will not be available within the assessment during subsequent attempts. Your highest score will be recorded. So that means within the 3 hours, if the lecturer have actually said to allow multiple submissions, it will be allowed, but only the highest score will be recorded. Now, you have to honor this pledge that I will neither give nor receive aid on this assessment. Remember, the examination rules apply. Then now, it allows you to begin assessment. So you click on the button, begin assessment, and this is how it will be. So remember I said it will be timed. So here it shows you time remaining is 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 42 seconds. So it will continue counting backwards until that time either you submit before time, or in case you are not done with the exam, it will automatically submit whether you have done all the questions or not. Also remember, we said on the pre-online examination instructions, we said that actually on the actual examination instructions, we say that 1, you skim through all examination questions. We also say scroll and read all parts of a question. And 3, answer the easiest questions first in order to build confidence. Then answer and save the questions for each question and pay attention to time. So I want to demonstrate that. The first one is, as you can see, it indicates the examination just like they appeared on paper. Then the school, the department, the unit code, then the instructions. It says answer all questions in section A and any other 2 questions in section B. Good. So, question progress. If you want to skim through the questions before you even start tackling them, you click on this button on your right. So here, I also want to hide the remaining time. such that it goes to the top and I'm able to view this one clearly, you'll see that we have a key here for you that shows the white dot shows or indicates unanswered questions, and the black dot indicates answered questions. So part 1 is where we have given you the instructions and general information. So this is what you can see. So here it is, instructions and general information. Then part 2, remember we are just skimming through. We have section A with 5 questions, and the instructions were very clear that you are supposed to answer all questions in section A and any other 2 in section B. So you can see that section B has 4 questions, but you are required to answer only 2. And as you can see from the key, all of them are white dots, indicating that I have not tackled any. So to skim through all the questions, you just click on, for example, you click on number 1. Question number 1 will show, as you can see. So here we just read through and see what kind of a question it is. Then I can check number 2. You can see number 2 is a mathematical function. And number 3, so this question 3 of 9, we see I'm actually supposed to type in some essay. Then number 4, I'm supposed to draw a diagram and submit. So we'll be talking about that. Then we also have question 5 that indicates I'm supposed now to select A, B, C, or D. Then part 3, remember I also want now to be able to know which 2 questions I would tackle for section B. So I click on 7 to just skim through and see if I'll be able to make the best choice of questions to start with. So there you go. So you can see from all this that you are able to click and skim through all the questions before you even begin the test. And don't forget, the time is still counting. Then now I can see the last question, question 9. And now after reading all this or skimming through the questions, now I know that I'll start with section A, then section B, I'll only take question 7 and 8, since I've seen they are the easiest one for me to answer. So to go back, I go now to part 1 and click on question 1. Then after clicking on that, I can now decide to close this button on the examination progress. Now here, I go to question 1 and I can read it and see the attached is a balance sheet for XYZ company. Brief describe its financial position. So you will click on this balance sheet. So once you click on it, it will download. And once it downloads, remember, now you can go have a look at it. And then here it is. From this, I'll be able now to read through. I can do it on paper. So once I've done this on paper, then I'll take a picture using my phone, or you can use a scanner, or you can just come and paste your answers here by typing. Remember, there are some questions that will allow you to upload. Since we know, like for example, drawing a diagram, some of you may not have the skills on how you can draw a diagram on these questions. So I can come and type in my answers very fast here. But if it's a diagram that I'm required to draw and I do not know how to draw using my the tools that are available for me, you can always now, you will see that an upload button will be placed there for you to ensure that you can do it on paper, take a picture, or you scan that work, and then you attach. Then the lecturer will be able to view. Now remember, I may want to organize these works like that we have like titles, I can do bold, etc. So you click on the show rich text editor, such that now it will look like our document. For example, if I want to make this bold, I can do that. If I want to name my work into, let's say, numerics, if I want to put bullets, they will be available for you. If I want to do a number, at least I can do that. So you can see that it will automatically pick the same as our document does. So you see, now I'll be able now to give my answers. Let's say you are requested probably to do a list of answers. So you see, you can always do that. So the rich text editor will allow you to organize your work in a better way. Now, remember, we said that you keep saving your work. So once you are done with question 1, you now click on save. So you click the save button here. And then that work now has been saved. Question 1 has been saved. Even if time elapses here, it means question 1 will be submitted automatically. Then after that, I click on next. So when you click on next now, it will allow me to move to question 2, where, as you see, we are being asked to evaluate the attached function. So this is the function. Then you are given instructions. Click browse to locate your file, and then click upload to upload your file. Then we've given you the maximum file size. So what happens here? Get yourself a blank paper, write down the function as it is, and then do the evaluation as you are requested, and then take a picture using your phone. It could be your camera, it could be a scanner. Then upload. You choose that file by clicking on this button. So you see, you can just pick that file. For example, let's say I want just to pick something. Let's say I just want something easy. So you just come and pick, for example, this as the image that I scanned. Remember, it can pick a PDF, it can pick a JPEG, a .png, depending on how you saved it. So if you saved it as an image, it will pick. If you saved as PDF, it will pick. Then you choose file, and don't forget to click upload. If you forget to click upload, it means that file will not be available for the lecturer to see. So immediately you upload, it will now be available, and you can see by clicking on this, it will open. Otherwise, if you want to do a change, you remove, then repeat the process above. Then click save to save question 2. Then click next. Remember, as I said, we are supposed to do section A, all questions, add 2 questions in section B. So here it says list 4 common symptoms of COVID-19 infection. So I want to arrange my work. So I click on this to have number 1. So you give that symptom. Could be the headache, it could be the dry cough, then the rise in temperature, etc. So I've listed my 4. Then don't forget to click on save. Click on save. And once you save, you now proceed to the next question by clicking on the next button below. Then number 4, draw a well-labeled diagram of a human heart. Click browse to locate your file, and then click upload to upload your file. So you have drawn it on paper, a very nice diagram of the human heart. You have scanned the work, or you have taken a picture from your phone, and then you have saved it on the laptop. So you click on choose file. So you click on choose file. I don't know, yeah, I can have, this is now the picture of my heart, and sure, your heart looks way better than mine. You click on open. You can see this a .png, that is an image. Then you click on upload to ensure that the lecturer will actually have that file, and then you click on save. So once you click on save, now proceed to the next question. And if you want, for example, to skip question 5 and do 6, you can see, as I told you from the key, it says unanswered questions are in the white dot. You can see question 5 is white, question 6, 7, 8, and 9 are white. but question 1, 2, 3, and 4 are in the black dot. That means that I have answered question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's say that is question 4 that we have just saved. I want now to go to question 6, then come back to question 5. Or I want to finish section B. Let's say we said I'll take question 7 and 8, then come and handle question 5, since I find it a little bit tasking, or it will require more time, and I want to be able to have done the easiest before I go to the hard question. So I'll come and click on question 7 here, and it says evaluate 3 fundamental economic issues that a society has to address to minimize the problems of scarcity of resources. So that is 6 marks. Then B, explain 5 factors that lead to the internal economies of scale in an economy, 10 marks. Then C, describe 2 assumptions of the law of variable proportions, 4 marks. So I'll click on the show rich text editor, such that now, remember, we have part A, part B, and part C in this question that is carrying 20 marks. So here I can actually come and indicate part A. Then I want to do it in bold. Remember, I also want to make it easy for my lecturer to mark my work. Then now I come and answer part A. So it says evaluate 3 fundamental economic issues. So I can even list them. So the first one will be, there you go. So I want also, after that I can remove the bold. Now I choose to explain it here. So that's the first one. Then I can go to the second one. I give what it is. And then I explain about that. Then I go to part 3 and explain. So that is part A. Then I want to make this bold, just to ensure that I'm able to guide my lecturer and make it easy, even to make marking also easy. Then after that, if you want the list to stop counting, just like on our document, click enter twice, enter on your keyboard twice. Then I can come and do part B. Part B says explain 5 factors. So I want to do 5 factors over here. So I decide to do bullets as the first one will be that. Then I can explain. So I want to remove the bold so that I'm able to explain the first one. Then I go to the second one. I go to the third. I do the explanations like that. Then up to the fifth. Then now I can decide to do that as bold. Now you don't need to do the bold if you don't have, if you're not typing very fast like me. But this one can still be done if you want to just make your work, to arrange your work very well and make it easy when it comes to marking. Then you have part C. Part C. That say describe 2 assumptions of variable proportion. So here I will do list. So number 1, I'll explain. Then number 2, I'll explain. So that's an essay that I've done, worth 20 marks. Then remember to always click save before you proceed to the next question. So I've done question 7. Then I come back, I select question 8 here, or just click next down here. So it's all the same. Then it says with blah 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 blah, or that. Then you now come do the same here. So as you complete our question 8, remember this is the second question in section B. That means now you are done with part B. So there you go. So I want to save this question. Remember, we left question 5 unanswered. So I'll come back at the top here. I'll see that I've completed 2 questions for part B, but section A, question 5 is still unanswered. Then I click on this, and don't forget to keep checking the time. So here I still have 2 hours and 2 hours remaining. and 43 minutes. So now it says cleaning of what? Hemodialysis means cleaning of what? So you can either pick urine, blood, glomerular filtrate, or whatever fluid. I am not into health sciences, but I'm sure those of you who are in these sciences, it's easier to pronounce these words. So what will happen is you now come and pick the correct answer. So mine, I'm just take an assumption. Trust me, I do not know the answer to that question. Then I click on save. So when I click on save, it means that I'm actually now done with my exam. So if I come back here to part 1, so you go to this, click here, you'll see that if I go to previous, then I click on previous again, this shows you that you can actually go back to questions that you had done earlier in case you want to do some corrections or some editing. So the same way we are using this part for the question progress, the same button, the previous button can also be used to go back. But since we want to save on time, it's always good to use the question progress bar on your right here. So here I just wanted us to go back to the instructions over again, and here it says answer all questions in section A, add any other 2 questions in section B. So I want to click on my question progress here and see that I have done 5 questions in part A. So there I give myself a tick. Then 2 questions in section B. So I say that's okay. Then let's say since I have still time remaining and I want to add more points to my question 8, so just come here and click on 8 and automatically it will open my question 8. Now I can come and add more here, and then I save. So once you click on save, I can now go ahead and submit this exam. So for you not submit the exam, you have to click the last question. Even if you didn't take it, click on the last question here to show you or to provide you with a submit for grading. But before we submit for grading, it's always good to first click on save to ensure that you save all the work, and then now we can submit for grading. So when you click on submit for grading, we have put several alerts for you to ensure that before you submit, you actually know what it is that you are doing. So you are about to submit this assessment for grading. Click submit for grading if you really want to submit for grading. Otherwise, click previous to return to the previous screen. So these will avoid any student submitting their exams before they are done. So this is just an alert to ensure that by the time you are submitting, you are actually ready to submit. Also, don't forget, we said if the 3 hours goes before you are done with the exam, whatever you had saved will automatically be submitted. So here we go. You can see that the bar is still becoming shorter. So it means by the time 3 hours are elapsing, we'll have the bar almost here. Now that I have done the exam and I'm confident that I'm going to get a good grade, now I can submit for grading. So there you go. So once you submit, you'll get the course name, you get the title there, the number of submission remaining. So here, if the lecturer had allowed you to do like 2 or 3 submissions, then it will indicate there. Then the confirmation number will be there at the submission date. And then you click on continue and you're done. So now it will show you on the submitted assessment, it will now show you even how long it took to complete that exam. So here is mine. So this is the one that we have just submitted. So So it has taken me 19 minutes and 57 seconds to submit that particular examination. So I want you to go ahead to assessment.mku.ac.ke/portal. Go log in to the site, select the unit or the sample examination given, and tackle it. Try as much as possible to practice several times like I have done to ensure that you build confidence. At that time when it comes where we will need you now to take the real exam, you'll have no issues, you'll have no problems, and it will be as easy as ABCD or as easy as the back of your head. So thank you so much. Hope to see you when you see me. Stay safe. God bless you. Bye bye.